Hello, all of you beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. Today we are going to be doing a timeless reading, looking at what contracts are ending and what new ones are beginning. We have 3 piles to choose from, so take a moment to sit in and listen to your own inner guidance on which pile is your pile. So we have pile 1, alchemical mutation, number 31. We have unplugged from mass consciousness, number 7. And we have trust the higher plan, number 13. Take a moment and I will see you back for your chosen pick a pile. Welcome, pile 1, to your reading. So we are going to be looking at what karmic contracts are currently ending in your life right now. This recording is timeless, but it also is being recorded in between of the eclipse season. So this can be significant if you're listening to this reading around this time. You are learning to become the alchemist in your life. You're learning to transform, to alchemize the pain, the darkness, the burdens that you've always been carrying. This is really around relationships with people. And this may have been coming up where the eclipse season may have activated that energy for you, where you're seeing burdens, you're seeing that you're carrying everything from lives, past lives, other people's, and it's really coming up at this particular time. And so you may be very connected to networking, people. You may have a lot of people and have a lot of different relationships around work, family, situations. You may just be very involved and connected in a lot of relationship dynamics, but they have not fulfilled you. They have let you down. You may have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things that are just weighing heavily at this particular time, but you're learning to alchemize that. You're learning to stand more into the light. So you're finding more of the solution. Some of you guys could be meditating at this time, really tuning in, really going within to release a lot of the heavy burdens. Some of you guys can be connected to water or really guided to connect with water, or water element is really significant to you. There's a new life that's emerging for a lot of you guys. All right, this is really around structure, family, responsibilities, okay? You may be in a relationship, married, share a home, a family. This may be work situations, job relationships. I feel like overall, pile 1, this is hitting you in all areas right now. So I feel like is growing pains. You know, this is a season right now of growing pains, right? And so the contracts, what's going on with you is you are ending contracts with people that you have a relationship with. They are meant to end. Not everyone is meant to go with you as you ascend into higher levels of consciousness. And that's what's happening, is you are changing, you're adjusting, you are healing, you're accepting, you're understanding more of your own wounds, your own shadows, and you're healing that. And oftentimes it is not going to be received by the people that you have been around your whole entire life. So a lot of these contracts that are ending are to help you become the alchemist, to alchemize the heavy burdens, the relationships, the unsatiatedness, and to really focus on stable relationships that meet you exactly where you're at. So a lot of the contracts that are falling away are in around the areas of work, okay? The physical body, all right? Your transformation, you are ascending, you are healing, you are evolving, okay? All right, into more of the authentic, true you, right? And a lot of these connections, a lot of these relationships that you have, they're weighing heavy on you. They're weighing heavy on you because Spirit's saying it's time for you to release, it's time for you to let it go, right? And so I feel like you are already aware of this, right? You're learning to, again, alchemize, okay? So you may be disappointed with recent outcomes. Remember, if one door closes, you are being redirected to one that will soon open to your truest soul path. Okay, there's a transformation energy that's happening, right now, right? All right. So again, there's a lot of things that are closing right now. There's a lot of relationships that are ending. There's a lot of contracts that are, this is around home, jobs, okay? Specifically, even your health, all right, is really coming up for you. You're learning to find solutions. You're learning to find, so this could be holistic medicine. This can be traditional medicine, right? I mean, it doesn't really matter. This can be exercising, changing your diet, okay? Not allowing everyone to access you. All right. You may make yourself less accessible, okay, as these contracts are meant to dissolve. Again, and for some of you guys, this could be around addictions, all right? I'm getting addictions, indulgences. For some of you guys, you may drink a lot, okay? You may overindulge, you may party, okay? And that may have shifted you out of balance, right? You may be as in society. Again, there's something about you, pile one, where you're very connected to people, networking, going out, you may socialize, you may socially drink, socially do some drugs, whatever that is. But you realize that a lot of these connections that you have with people are just not serving you, right? Okay, they're just not serving you. So a lot of the contracts right now, pile one, they're ending. So because you're the alchemist, right? You're planting something anew. There's something new that's growing within you, something that's being birthed. All right. So there's an aspect of you that is dissolving. There's an aspect of these relationships that just no longer hold the same value, right? Again, you may be noticing that the friends and the people that you're around are just not helping you, right? They're not like, giving you the realness of it. They want you maybe to go down with them. 10-10s can be very significant. You may be seeing a lot of 10-10s coming up for you guys, and 4s can be very significant as well. So 4-4-4, bringing in balance, the 10-10s ending of a cycle, right? So that ending of a cycle is bringing in more balance for you guys, okay? There's a new life again that's emerging for some of you guys. For some, this can be a new connection. Again, we're talking about connections with people, right? That, there could be doors that are closing around those relationships, family situations, job situations, and you're going to come into people that, again, match your frequency. There's a duality here. There's a shared energy, right? Okay. So for some of you guys, this is really about your ascension and really meeting people that are well matched for you. So a lot of the contracts that are ending is just spirit wanting to remind you. So get connected with water. Water element is going to be very significant for you guys. Okay. You are going through a very big transformation time in your life. Okay. All right. The blessings that are coming to you right now is strength. All right. All right. This challenge will make you stronger. You will get through the other side. Look for the gift in the situation. Okay. Actually, no, that's not yours. Why did I say that? No, I was going to say that is not yours. I was going to say I know pile ones was not that. Sorry, this is pile twos. Okay. I do pre-pulls, and so I mixed that up. So my bad. All right. So this is your blessing. This is what's coming up for you. Anger. Safely express your anger. Use anger as a positive force. Honor all of your emotions as they are sacred. I love anger, right? I tell all of my students this. You're never going to hear me say, don't be angry. Get rid of it. In the very beginning of my journey, yes, I was like all about the light, okay? But light is coming in. That's the alchemy, right? So you need to allow the anger, the resentment, the burdens, the feeling of whether that's betrayal, loss, being used, being manipulated, being resentful, whatever it is, I can assure you that the energy that comes up through anger really starts to allow you, if you allow it to come in, you sit in it, right? Like express it, safely, okay? Don't, go beat anybody up and get violent. This is really about allowing, I'm angry. Oh my God, I'm resentful. Ooh, right? Allow it to come out. Scream if you have to. Let it out, right? It's safely express it because you're going to figure out what you're angry about. One of the things that I do with my students and one of the things that I do with my clients in my client sessions when we're working through inner child healing, scream, right? Is scream it out. And it is so powerful and releasing, right? And it's anger that is coming out, but then you figure out where that anger is stemming from, where that anger is power, okay? So, right now, you guys are guided to allow the anger to be safely expressed because you are angry. And the alchemist, right? You learn to turn that into light. You learn to allow that shadow energy, that darkness to turn into light. That's alchemy, you guys, right? It's shifting the energy, right? It's an empowered state that you're getting ready to go into to help shift you, because you are meant for new beginnings. You're meant for a new life, all right? Be gentle with yourself, okay? Especially be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself and others. Honor your gentleness and speak worth of love, okay? This can be because you've given so much to your relationships with people, right? And maybe you didn't feel worthy, right? Maybe this energy of being angry at times can come up, and you can say, you know, I'm not lovable. Nobody loves me. I'm tired of doing all this stuff. And this is where it brings it into, is you are lovable. You are worthy of love, of goodness, of happiness, of opportunities, of doors opening. And God's, redirection is always God's protection, okay? So when God is redirecting you, it is to lead you to the door and the soul path that you're meant to go on. All right. So, be gentle with yourself, pile one. Allow the anger to unfold, allow it to be expressed. And this could be why some of you guys may be like, oh, I'm gonna beat somebody up. No, don't do that. Don't get violent. I'm not condoning violence, right? But I am saying that you are guided to allow the anger to come out, because this is where you're alchemizing, and the anger is going to bring in a level of gentleness of you being able to honor yourself, hold yourself. Sometimes we don't see how young we were, how innocent we were, how undeserving we were, right? And when that comes in, it is a very healing time. All right. So let's go ahead and look at more of your pre-pulled oracles, okay? As you guys shift in this energy and alchemize into that light state, and again, it's going to come. So allow the flow, allow the water and fire and water, right? Masculine and feminine to integrate within you, okay? So allow the flow to unfold. The wheel is going to turn. So the wheel of fortune is here, the 10. Right? So this is a completion energy, right? And this is that new beginning where the will is going to turn in your favor. Destiny is here. Again, for a lot of you guys, part of your destiny to go through this shift, this ascension journey, this evolution, this growing pain that you need to get to, right? But also at the same time, there is an ending, there's a completion, okay? Opportunities are definitely going to open up for you guys, multiple opportunities. Trust in your inner guidance, trust where spirit is leading you. Again, some of these doors may have been closed, and there's one door here that you are meant to walk through. So trust where spirit is guiding you. Allow your dreams to unfold, write them down for those of you guys that are dreamers, okay? Because dreams are going to be very significant. Believe in your dreams, all right? Believe in the impossible, believe in the unlimited, okay? Believe that you can have love, family, foundation, stability. You can have it all, pile one. You're meant to. Okay, you're meant to have all that you want. We have the King of Swords coming through, right? This is beautiful because your mental energy is going to resolve itself, all right? So you're going to be very, it's so funny because you have duality here of dark and light, fire and water, air and water element. Okay, so you may have fire, water, or air heavily in your chart, pile one. Okay, sun, moon, or rising energy. You have the King of Cups here. And so the King of Swords is decisive, analytical, logical, cutthroat. The King of Cups is all-encompassing love, right? These are two opposites. These are two opposites. All right, so you definitely are learning to integrate your inner masculine and inner feminine, okay? Learning when to take decisive actions, learning to listen to your intuition, learning how to speak your truth, standing strong in your purpose. There's a huge transformation that's happening within you around your relationships. Like, you're not going to carry this shit no more. You're not going to be doing that, right? It's like you're going to start living for you. You're going to make choices for you, for your emotional stability, for your emotional love, okay? Right? The King of Cups is all-encompassing. They are very matured in their emotional body. So you are going to be at the end of the cycle that you're going through, pile one, you're going to be very, 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 very stable in your mental body and your emotional body. You're very balanced in your physical body as well, okay? So your spirit body is what is coming through, right? That's where the balancing act needs to come in. Is you need to have faith in where God is directing you and what is happening, what is unfolding, what is falling away. All right. These two kings right here are giving you that energy of you're standing in your crown. You're about to be, about to be crowned. All right. So as you go through this journey, it's like a celebration for you, pile one. Okay. Multiple opportunities coming in. You know, you're going to be very balanced in how you make your decisions. You're going to follow your heart. You're going to follow your inner compass, right? You're going to follow what is going to be emotionally fulfilled for you. You've already carried the burdens. You've already carried that. You're going through this huge transformation process. Okay. And what is coming out on the other side is self-esteem. All right. So your self-esteem is going to increase because, again, you're learning to alchemize. You're learning to be gentle with yourself. You learn to see yourself in a different light. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others, right? And so you possess these beautiful gifts, okay? And you're meant to share. You're meant to shine, right? There's some energy of, again, connection, right? But you've been holding yourself back because you've been letting yourself, in a sense, down because you've been letting others kind of take the forefront in your life. But that's not going to happen anymore. As you move through this energy, these karmic ties that are ending, these contracts that are dissolving, right? These new contracts are beginning, and look at what is putting you in a more empowered state, a more confident state, right? You're not going to doubt your intuition. You're not going to doubt your empathic abilities, right? You're not going to doubt your visions, you know? And then happiness. Right? You're meant to be happy. I said that. Okay. I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. You are meant to be happy. You are worthy of love. You're meant to have it all, pile one. I'm trying to tell you, you're meant to have success. You're meant to have peace. You're meant to have love. You're meant to have connection. You're meant to have balance and stability, right? You're not meant to be without. Okay. All right. So your inner child would like you to write a letter to your inner child, right? Of forgiveness, of being angry. Even if you're angry at your inner child, don't even trip. I've been there before. Okay. That's very, very healing. Okay. But once you guys move through this, look at the double rainbow. Look at the double blessings that are coming in. As you release, and again, 37 is 10. A lot of completion energies, you guys. A lot of karmic cycles. And this is dealing with an aspect of yourself. But that anger, I want you to go into that anger because you're going to see it. You're going to see where this is shining a light on, right? Write a letter to your inner child. They need to hear from you. They need to hear that you're moving, you're okay, right? 27, pull yourself close. Even every part of you being is deserving of love. What did I say, pile one? Right? Be your own hero. Be your own knight in shining armor. And that's alchemy as well. Oftentimes we depend on people to come through, love us, shine a light, give us positive reinforcements. And I've learned on this journey that doesn't happen. Right? So rarely does that happen. So rarely do I hear the goodness about myself. Mostly I hear the negative, right? And this is just from other people. But I pour into myself, right? To love myself, to nurture myself, every part of myself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay? And this is what this alchemy is, this journey work is. We alchemize our shadow aspect by honoring it, loving it, going through it, seeing ourselves, holding ourselves in the most gentlest way, the most gentlest of compassion, learning to speak true love into our own being, into our own soul. And you're going to do that. This is the beautiful transition of what you're going through, right? Lost islands. Okay, so you may feel a little lost right now. But right now, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before, okay? You are the alchemist. This is not new for you. These relationships are not new. These are patterns, okay? And earthed, learning how to be human in a world not of it. And this is hard, starseeds. This is hard, right? It's something that we often acknowledge on our journeys is this world is very, very hard for us because we're not from here. And so being human, I feel like we're a lot more human than the actual humans, you know, because we love and we take on these heavy burdens, right? You're an earth angel. You're a guide. You've been through it all. And that's why, you know, the ending of that time is saying the time is ending, okay? It's time for you to be in that receiving energy. The goodness is on its way. All right, so we have Chairfield, okay? Someone new is entering your life. For some of you guys, that's that love or connection or friendship, soulmates, whatever, soul contracts that are new, okay? So again, ending, right? So there's going to be, so, you know, when you say, I lost somebody at the table, and that seat is empty. Well, somebody's coming in to fill that seat, okay? The throne. Oh, I'm telling you, y'all got crowned. Position of authority, okay? So, you know, the job, promotions, relationships, whatever it is, you are being crowned. I said it. You guys are being crowned, right? Look at that. Look at your chair of authority. You're getting chairs, right? So, you know, you're going to have a seat at a table that is meant for you to sit on. Cobweb, all right? Protected from negative forces beyond your control. So the divine feminine, the divine mother is protecting you right now, Power One, from negativity, from third eye or evil eye, okay, being thrown at you from other people, because you're meant to rise above it. Wealth, it's coming, okay? So success, wealth, doors opening, all right? So remember, God's redirection is God's protection. Harp, great happiness. Listen, music, harp, beautiful strings, angels. You guys are angels. There's something about you guys that you guys are angels, all right? Inkpot, problems to be resolved. So remember, you guys have some issues, but remember, you guys are finding the solution to those problems, okay? And then broken wishbone. Wish will not be granted. So that's okay, because remember that wish that you're not getting granted, whatever that is, concerning around relationship dynamics, work, health, or whatever, there's something better coming, okay? Something much, much better coming. And things will not always be this way. A change is coming. The caterpillar. So you're in the stages, right, of going through the caterpillar. It is not an easy stage on the evolution and evolving that the caterpillar goes through. All right, but you're going to come out as the beautiful butterfly. All right, Power One, that is all I have for you guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed your reading. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I am looking forward to assisting you more in your journey. If you are so guided to book a private session with me, all of my information is linked in the bio below. Trust the process and trust the journey. Bye now. Welcome, Power 2, to your reading. We are going to be looking at a timeless reading of what karmic contracts are now currently ending and what new ones are beginning. I am recording this in between eclipse season, so if you're listening to this reading, the eclipse season may be very significant to you. I'm going to say this, Power 2, I may be running through your reading because I already recorded it and it didn't record. So I got to start it again. If you hear somebody chuckling in the background, that's my brother, because it was a really good reading. Too bad you guys would not hear the first one. And that probably is in reference of what your reading is even about. Okay. So Power 2, let's get on with it. You chose unplug from mass consciousness. All right. So this is related to fear, doubt, rejection. Okay. This is related to social media, the mass consciousness. All right. And so you are in the energy of evolving, of connecting to a higher level of consciousness for yourself. You've opened up a window, a door, okay? At this particular time, the feeling that I have for you, Power 2, is that you guys are woke now. You guys are not waking up. You guys are completely woke now. And in waking up, we deal with a lot of rejection. We deal with a lot of shadows that come up, a lot of triggers that come up at this particular time for you guys. You guys may be feeling the chaos of the world. And so Spirit is saying, you guys are at the point now where you're looking at what you're being fed, what you were resonating with, what you were operating at, the people, the situations that you were operating at are very different. They're not holding the same resonance. They're not holding the same frequency. This is not just happening in the external world for a lot of you guys. I feel like this is very internal. Your belief systems are being shaken. Your belief systems are dissolving. They are being destroyed. So the beliefs that you had, the programming that you were under, the gaslighting, the lies that you've been fed to, you're now seeing the truth. You're waking up to the truth within yourself, the truth of the people that are around you, as well as those that are in the external world. Old timelines are collapsing at this particular time. You guys are not from here. You guys are starseeds, galactics, right? And so you guys may have conformed to society because you wanted to fit in. You wanted to be a part of the crowd. You wanted to be a part of, you wanted to be likable, to be lovable. And even in that time, you realize that love hurts. All the love that you've given, all the accolades, the affirmations, the energy that you've given has not been well received. In fact, I feel like a lot of you guys have been rejected throughout most of your life, which is why I feel like you guys have hidden in the shadows. You have disowned a part of yourself, and that is actually what's dissolving. It's the old you, the child you that wanted to be accepted, wanted to be loved. You're learning to operate and embody your higher self-consciousness, which is why you may be noticing that you're not on social media anymore, or you're noticing that it's a distraction. You notice that it's not feeding your soul anymore. And so you're looking for other things, things that make you happy, things that bring you joy, things that bring you peace, things that bring you more light. You're guided at this time to have patience, or you've been patient enough, right? You're being asked to practice patience right now. It's not easy to do this. It's not easy to go through this ascension, this awakening, especially when you're helping the collective. But you're strong. And there's a reason why things aren't aligning in the way you want them in this moment. Have patience. It will eventually work out. God's protection is God's redirection. God will redirect you, realign you to the soul family, to the people that you're meant to be around. You've lost a part of yourself. You've lost yourself, okay? And you're finding, right, and standing more in your integrity, standing more into who you are, your authentic truth, the authentic you. Whether that's met by rejection, whether that's gossip, whether people are not going to accept that from you, this is where you're at. You're no longer going to be conforming to societal beliefs. You're no longer conforming to society anymore. You're learning that if I pour into myself, if I love myself, if I give myself everything, if I become my own knight in shining armor, right? No outside forces can make you feel lesser than. And I feel like a lot of you guys have dealt with lack in your life, lack of abundance, lack of love. I feel like you may have talked to yourself negatively in the past, right? And all of those things are really shifting for you right now. So a lot of you guys are moving out of social media. Some of you guys, are getting ready to connect with soul families, people that are of your energy, of your vibration, of your frequency, of the vibration that you hold. Strength. This challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in the situation, right? It's a lot of shadow energy, a lot of dark, right? And so this is where Spirit is wanting to guide you, is that to remind you of your resilience, of your strength, right? Again, having patience with this time, because you are completely waking up. And so a lot of things are dissolving. The way that you have thought or felt or moved in life is dissolving. How you deal with people is dissolving. Awareness. Look at that light that's streaming in here, right? So you're moving out of the shadow, that strength energy. Live in the moment. Be conscious of your thoughts. Look for signs and guidances, right? Okay. So, if you are not unplugging from social media, this is your sign that, and you've been wanting to, this is your sign to, get off of your apps. Okay. This is your sign, always come back and visit me, stay on YouTube. No, I'm joking. But the awareness is there, right? Okay. And so, listen to your internal compass, listen to what you're being guided to, removing the distractions that are in your life. So the contracts that are dissolving, that you are ascending from, this is a spiritual, right? This is a contract that you had with yourself to evolve, to ascend, to release yourself from the mass, from people in your life that are no longer holding that same frequency. The Five of Swords, okay? So, you know, you may be impulsive. You may be the type that, what do you call that? Where you're, you know, you're on the attack on social media, or people are on the attack with you with your opinions. And so this can really cause in some drama, some negative talk, right? And this can be where it's like, whoa, you know, I'm trying to wake people up. I'm trying to help people, I'm trying to plant seeds, and they're not hearing me. And this could be causing you to really have a struggle with other people. But also, I feel like a lot of you guys have had internal struggles within yourself, right? Allowing this old you to fall away, allowing the part of you to fall away, allowing the part of you that spoke negative to self, that maybe was very self-critical, right? You know, the internal struggle that you may be going through at this particular time. The Two of Pentacles, the imbalances, the distractions, right? You have a lot of distractions, especially with social media. And so Spirit is saying to get back maybe into spirit, right? To get back into the balancing act of what it is that you need to be balancing in your life, right? There's an imbalance, right? There's an imbalancing of frequencies, and what is actually occurring, what contracts are ending, right, is this imbalance, right? This aspect of the old you, the inner child you, okay? And that dissolving, right? And you're maybe wanting to hold on to this old you, because when you're in the in-between, when you're waking up, when you're having this spiritual awakening, when you're ascending, when you're going through the dark night of the soul energy, right? It's a very lonely time, right? It's a very internal time, okay? And so there's a lot of times we're holding on to relationships, we're holding on to family, we're holding on to our belief systems because we have not lived in a sense without them, but you have. Is a part of your soul contract. Your soul contract now is to break free from social constructs, from conformity, from being self-sacrificing, for, you know, being whatever somebody needs you to be. Your contract agreement is with yourself. You're ending that, right? There's a part of yourself that you said, I'm going to wake up at this time. Some of you guys may suffer from a 7-year cycle, so pay attention if you have things happening in it within 7 years. I'm getting that for somebody here, or you have a life path number 7. The Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is about impulsivity, okay? Being impulsive, right? Making decisions without thinking them through, all right? Reacting to things, okay? Being sharp-tongued. Some of you guys could be very sharp-tongued, not so nice at times, okay? To others, it could just, you know, you could just be sharp-tongued, right? But this is something that you're learning to recalibrate, right? Is being impulsive, okay? And it's also bringing in a little bit of imbalance for you guys. And the Ace of Pentacles is about lack, right? A lot of you guys may have suffered from a lack of worth, a lack of love, a lack of feeling like you're meant to have it all, okay? And the Ace of Pentacles is you may have missed multiple opportunities that Spirit was trying to deliver to you because you may have been caught up into distractions, all right? And so it's like a lot of your physical, the physical wheel, right? Body, health, relationships, those are all coming up at this particular time, right? Stability, structure, family, okay? Belief systems, right? This is what's falling away because a new beginning needs to emerge for you, pile 2, okay? You guys had a lot of messages from Spirit, by the way. You're guided when this, at this particular time, to help you move through this, to surrender. I can release my need to control, okay? You're guided at this time to surrender and allow Spirit to work its magic. And I tell this story, some of you guys may have heard this before, you know, because some of you guys listen to me, okay? And I love this story because it's how God helped me to surrender. And I love the way that God presented this to me at one point in time in my life. And I was going through a hard time. I was really going through the shuffle, and I was going through the emotional turmoil, and I kept thinking, I'm surrendering. And God has said, you're not surrendering at all. You're trying to control the situation. And I was like, well, show me. So God literally showed me that I'm on this big old ship, this huge ship I'm on, right? And I get on this ship and I see all of these light beings on there, my spirit guides, my animals, like just everybody. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm like on Noah's Ark type of thing. Okay, right? And that's not what it is. And I'm like getting up and I see the helm. I think it's called the helm, the wheel, right? So I get up and I'm on the helm. And I hear God say, sit down, sit your butt down, right? So I'm like, what? So I go sit down. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm the co-captain. And God said, no, you're not the co-captain of nothing, right? I'm like, okay, I'm so confused. And God shows me that through the times in my life that I took the helm, I always ended up in some sort of catastrophe. The hurricanes, tsunamis, right? I did not end up at the destination on time. I took detours. But every time that I allowed God to take the wheel of my ship, I always ended up at my destination, unscathed, unharmed. And so what God is saying at times is let God steer your ship to your destination. Right? Allow the things that need to fall away. Allow God to carry you through the storm, through the hurricane, through the tumultuous waters, through the tsunami, because God has already planned your destination. God has already looked above and saw where all of those detours that need to be made to get you to your destination. You, on the other hand, only see a part of that destination and that journey. So you will get lost. You will feel lost. You will abandon yourself. So God is saying, release control. Allow me to steer your ship to your destination because I'm going to get you there faster. And also trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly, right? Trust your gifts. Trust your intuition. Trust where spirit is guiding you. Trust what's falling away, right? Trust how things are unfolding, you know. Trust the release of distractions, the spiritual awakening that you're going through, because you are moving into a higher level of consciousness. You are embodying more of your higher self. You're operating more from your higher self. And that's such a beautiful place to be. You're pouring more into yourself. You're learning that you may have to be your own hero, and that is okay. And not in a bad way, but in a good way. To where you pour love into yourself. You're your cheerleader. You give yourself the validations that you need. You give yourself the pat on the back that you need. You're not looking for outside influences or people to do that for you anymore. You're removing yourself from the masses, and you're standing in your own vibration, in your own frequency. So where are you going? What's happening at this particular time for you guys, right? You guys are going through this healing process, okay? So there's definitely healing that's happening. There's an isolation, but most importantly, you're going to know this isolation that you're going into, okay? After you have gone through surrender and trusting, this is where spirit is leading you to. Your new soul contract is you're going to be more discerning of your energy, of what you're giving, of the resources, okay? You're going to be more discerning of how people access you. You're not going to be in this energy of everyone being accessible to you and your energy, all right? Siphoning you, taking from you. You've been manipulated. And again, all of that energy of mass is also coming into your inner compass. And so you're going to isolate yourself. You're going to pull your energy back. You're going to go into a healing time. But this healing time is bringing clarity. It's bringing in love and understanding. You're allowing spirit to guide you. There's no rowboat or whatever you call it, right? You are allowing spirit to guide you in this water, right? In this cycle, in this flow. You're releasing surrender and control. And you're learning to use discernment of who has access to you moving forward. The Hangman, right? Your perspective is changing. You won't be so impulsive. You're going to live more in the moment, okay? You're going to understand more of what's needed at this time. You're connecting more with the divine within you. Again, more isolation. Connecting with water elements could be significant for you, but you're going to understand in this soul journey work, in this time of isolation, in this time of healing, you're embodying more of your higher self. You're getting more channel messages. You're tuning in more into where spirit is guiding you. The Five of Wands. Okay, competition can come up at this time. Drama could come up. It's just a warning for some of you guys that this can occur because, again, it's not going to be well received. It's not going to be met, all right? So you may have some energies, but one of the things that I love is this feels very determined. This energy of the Five of Wands here feels more determined. It feels more like I'm okay with whatever is occurring. I know how to move through it. I know how to find my way. And I feel with a lot of the contracts that are ending and then ones that are new beginning is you're going to find more of that energy of your own inner strength. The Knight of Pentacles, right? So it's like I said, there's this map, right? I was giving you the example, and I didn't do that with other people or other readings, but this one is about the ship, right? So let God destiny, because here's your destination. It may move slower than you would like it to, right? It may not move as fast as you would like it to get out of this energy of dissolving, but trust in spirit, because you are getting to your destination, the sunflower, right? New beginnings. So for some of you guys, you may be getting that promotion, new job, going back to school, learning something new, okay? Some of you guys may be taking a trip, maybe traveling, all right? This new beginning that you're leading to, but it's leading you to more of a healing time of you really honoring yourself, really focusing on yourself, handling your business. Stability is definitely coming in, and you're releasing the lack, all right? So your inner child wants you to say yes. Now is the time to be open and receive, okay? So your inner child is telling you, pile 2, whatever it is to say yes to, all right? Say yes. It's going to lead you somewhere. Today is the day. Look at that. It is time to begin the journey. So again, if you guys have not, if you guys have been getting assigned to, detach from social masses, from people, from even, here's one of the things I'm getting. Some of you guys may be connected to people who are very connected to social. Oh my goodness. Could be very connected to social, right? And Spirit is saying that, again, those people may not be serving of you, okay? All right, breathe. Breath of the cosmos. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. You guys, breathe in the cosmos. Your will. This is about you. I'm telling you. This is about you. Pile 2. All right. And yeah, you're micromanaging because the universe got you right now. They're getting you to your destination, right? But your will, what you want, what you desire, where you're at, it is going to occur. It's going to happen. I remember. Soul path. The fated life versus the destiny life, all right? So I remember, right? The soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. So the fated life is dissolving and your life of destiny is beginning. It is beginning. Pile 2. The new contracts are remembering you. Again, this is about you, pile 2. Pile 2. Let's close out your reading. Fire. Strong emotion, passionate love, or hate. Fire. Okay. So that could be coming up for you. All right. Love hurts. Remember that. But you're loving yourself, okay? So strong emotions could be occurring during this time. That's okay. Allow it to. The purse. Pay attention to your finances, all right? The torch. Spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. This is your whole reading, all right? You carry the torch, but you got to go through it first. So you're going through a spiritual awakening. You are going through the dark night of the soul at its finest. The flute. Disappointment in a friend or a lover. You're seeing people for exactly who they are. Spear. Heartache over what you no longer have, right? And that is okay. Things are falling away. Remember what I said, pile 2. Things are going to fall away for newness to occur, all right? So we have the broken ring. Parting of ways, either in romance or business. All right, so where is the box? There we go. I had it here. So again, things are falling away, right? Okay, there's a mass dissolving here. And bird perched, waiting for news, package, or a letter. All right, so patience is your energy, is your surrender, right? Trust, have faith, All of these things that are happening, there is a reason for it, and you will understand what the reason is, right? Trust in spirit, trust in God. Let God get you to your destination. Sit your butt down on your ship, all right, and let God steer the wheel. That's all I have for you, Pile 2. Hope you guys all enjoyed your reading. If you have not done so, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for further updates on notifications when I do post another reading. If you would like to book a private session with me one-on-one, all of my information is linked in the bio below. Trust the process and always trust the journey. Yeah, I had to pause for a minute because I definitely have some purging coming up, a lot of burping. So the energy that I'm just going to pick up on Pile 3 is that you are definitely purifying, maybe getting rid of some energies that are not yours, some attachment energies. So really pay attention to how that's coming up. A lot of times I'll feel attachments trying to attach to my body, usually being my feet. And I'll feel like something's trying to pull me into the earth. That usually is an indication of an attachment. Another thing is a lot of burping, a lot of releasing for no reason. And that is also purging and purification. And another way that you'll know about if you have an attachment is anything metallic in your throat that just comes up. That's also a very big indication that we are operating with a lot of negative energy. So before I go into your reading, Pile 3, I'm just going to say that you guys may definitely want to cleanse your energetic auric space, your internal compass, as well as your external compass, okay? All right, so let's get into your reading. All right, so trust the higher plan. Love, 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 love this energy for you guys. My Pile 3s that I always feel are my spiritual pile, because you guys just get the spiritual cards. Not necessarily true, but you guys are definitely getting ready for some definite soul growth. So if you were connected to Pile 2, this may be a continuation for you, because Pile 2 energy is kind of coming through on this one as well. All right. Pile 3, trust the higher plan. And this is exactly where you're at. All right. So there's a lot of chaos going on in your life. That's usually what happens when we're needing to trust in the higher plan. All right. There's a dissolving of, definitely maybe of some addictions, and that could be that purification. So some of you guys can have been dealing with some drinking, some alcohol, smoking, cigarettes, drugs, whatever it is that's coming through, that's resonating for you. You're definitely maybe going into some rehab, or not drinking anymore, or you're changing your habits, eating habits, whatever that is. There's something about you changing, okay? So there's definitely some old habits that you're definitely releasing at this time, all right? Because you guys are ascending. This is a huge ascension energy, and this is a part of the divine plan, okay? So have faith that all is well, because it will be. You guys are very connected to the stars, the galactics, the higher self, the ascendant masters, all right, connected to source itself. Heart chakra is being activated at this time. So there's a lot of dissolving energies that are coming through, and this could be related to inner child wounds, how you talk to yourself, the lack of self-love, especially when we're dealing with heart chakra clearing and then moving into the high heart. It is actually knowing that you are worthy of God's love. And that is always a hard thing to process, because most of the time we do not feel worthy of God's love, which is why we have issues receiving love from the physical, okay? So a lot of you guys are clearing that energy, but it is going to present itself in some hardship. So a lot of your karmic depths, I feel, are being cleared at a very high level, which means that you're probably seeing relationships change completely, dissolving. The relationship that you have with yourself, with spirit, dissolving. You're going through not just a spiritual awakening, a dark night of the soul. You guys are going through a huge ascension, and I think it's to bring you into your mastery level, a lot of ascendant master levels, okay? So this is like a feeling of clearing, okay? So the awakening, know who you are. All right. So a DNA activation, I'm telling you guys are ascending, but you guys are ascending to a higher plane, a higher level of consciousness, higher. What I'm talking about is like ascendant master level, where you're working with the ascendant masters, you're working with the galactics, you're working with the Elohim, you're working with the councils, right? You are a part of the councils, probably Pile 3, okay? You may find yourself dreaming a lot of dimensions and places that you may not even have an understanding to. These are all places that you're actually visiting in dream time, or you're having visions, okay? And so you are very connected to the planets, very connected to a planetary system, and you may be finding that you're awakening up to more of that. Your DNA is being activated and upgraded upgraded for you to reach these higher levels of consciousness, which means that the density that you're going through has to fall off. And this density is about how you've had self-loathing and self-love. And I can tell you that that's one of the hardest things that you will go through is in your awakening, is in the heart chakra activation. In my experience, mindful meditations are really, really beneficial for those of you guys that are struggling with the self-love and self-loathing energy. Because when you find out that you really hate yourself, and that's why you've had a lot of the relationships that you had, it could be devastating. So I encourage you that when you are doing mindfulness, and if this does come up for you and it's hard, try to listen to a meditation or some music that will lighten you up, because this is a very hard energy to go through, especially when you're clearing it in the heart center. Because what you're going to see is that it had nothing to do with anybody else, is that you actually loathe yourself. You actually can't stand yourself. You actually don't like you. And you may have for many years asked yourself, why doesn't anybody love me? Why doesn't anybody accept me? Why doesn't anybody want me? Why, I'm not good enough. And you really play that internal dialogue for so long that when you're starting to heal on this ascension journey and you're waking up and you're healing these layers of yourself, and you get to this point of self-loathing where you may have told yourself, I love myself, I love everything about myself, but then you get to this part, it is a very, 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 very traumatic at times, and it's very hard to deal with and to see that this is how you feel within yourself. And so the self-love aspect is coming in. So you are dissolving the contract of self-loathing, of no longer being in relationships or connections with people that bring in this element of loathing, because you're seeing that reflected back to you. You're seeing that you hated yourself, so your relationship with your spouse or your love or your friendships, they reflect that right back to you, right? You don't love yourself, but you're asking why these friendships don't love you, but it's because they're just mirroring how you already feel. So you're going to have relationships with people who don't like you, who reject you, because you're doing all of that already for yourself. So they're just picking up on that energy. And when we have these connections, we usually are picking people where we're operating from in our wounded state. So you're moving into more of that self-love, okay? And so self-loathing. Take the high road. You're at an impasse with relationships or a situation. It's now time to think bigger, release the desired outcomes, and take the most positive course of action, you guys, okay? So, it's time to think bigger, right? And again, I feel for you guys, the relationship aspects, the situation aspects are falling away, right? You're no longer going to be operating what's happening, what's changing, the spiritual awakening, this higher level of consciousness where God is bringing you, where your spirit guides are bringing you, where your ascended masters are bringing you to your ascension journey, is for you to understand, right, that you are worthy of love, and you are no longer wanting to accept these low vibrational relationships or situations anymore. The winter's dream gestation period, this is where you're at. You're in the in-between gestation, right? So this is about rebirthing, it's about growth. When we're in the gestation, we're in the womb. We're in the mother's womb. The winter season is where we go within. We connect with ourselves. We connect with our higher selves. We literally, in the winter season, are connecting with yourself, right? And so you may have this gestation period from now into the winter, or if you're listening to this at the winter time, this is that gestational period, right? And in the gestational period, if you think about the bears are hibernating, they've already spent time preparing for food, and now it's time for rest. So you're in the resting period, right? The resting, the healing, the rebirthing energy, because you're getting ready to be reborn. You're getting ready to ascend into this higher level of you. And it's a you that has been needing to remember all along. Again, they're asking you, know who you are. Know what you're worthy of. Know that you are of a higher vibration, a higher frequency, that you are operating at a higher level of consciousness, and you are worthy of love. You are worthy of acceptance. You are worthy of everything that your soul has come here to desire. Okay? So, look at this. Look at this. Rebirth. Okay? Rebirth. You're going through a rebirth, okay? Reinvent yourself, give life to your dreams, create a new reality. And that's what's happening, you guys, right? You guys are creating a new reality for yourself, a field of love, field of a higher vibrational frequency. You are activating yourself to fully wake up and embody and live in that vibrational frequency. You're no longer sacrificing yourself. Then we have growth. Seek out a mentor or guide. I offer spiritual development classes if you're interested. Take baby steps as you grow. Be willing to learn from others. And so you're healing an inner child aspect of yourself, pile 3, and you're growing and evolving from that, right? You're letting it go. You're releasing. So the new contracts that are unfolding is this new you, right? You're letting go of this period of self-love and self-loathing, okay? You are guided to release the fear, all right? I release that I am testing, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love, right? Again, you know, you are releasing fear, okay? Releasing the lower density. Fear is paralyzing. Fear is one of the most paralyzing energies that you can go through, all right? And denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. And look at that, we have awareness, okay? So you have awareness, awakening and awareness coming out, right? And we have fear and fear, okay? So you may have been denial again, and I may have mentioned that about how we are in denial about the love and all this stuff that we're operating from this place, and then you realize, no, you're not, right? The acceptance comes in of where you're not really operating from. All right, so, you know, the 5 of Cups, energies of depression. So a lot of you guys have dealt with depression. Again, low vibration. Again, this is the heart chakra energy, okay? Page of Pentacles, all right? Like things I feel not going anywhere, things being really hard. The 7 of Pentacles coming through, all right? So the defensiveness, the armor, okay? That's falling away as well. So you're coming more into more vulnerable state, more vulnerability, more true you. You really are not going to pause anymore about moving forward. You're actually going to take action. The 7 of Wands, right? 7 of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands. You're going to take action. You're determined to move through that energy, okay? It's beautiful, right? You're moving through this energy, okay? This is what's dissolving. Non-action, right? Boundaries, you know, fear, all of these things, you know, not standing in your truth. Like all of these things are going to be dissolving from you. Why does the door keep slamming like that? I don't even understand. Okay, you guys. So, I mean, I'm hearing so many doors slam shut. So maybe pile 3, you've had a lot of doors slam shut in your face, right? And maybe that has maybe made you feel stagnant, okay? But there are doors that are definitely opening for you. Okay, so your inner child wants you to know disappointment is not the end. There is hope, even in the darkest of nights, okay? So your inner child wants you to know to stay hopeful that disappointment, things not working out, all of these things that are happening right now are meant to happen at this time because, again, there's a rebirthing energy. There's a newness that is coming, a new beginning, all right? We have, you deserve to be seen. Your inner child wants you to let yourself be known, to be seen, to stop standing in the dark, right? Okay, this new you. This emergence where you're not going to be in lack of love, you're going to be in self-love, honoring yourself. This rebirth, this growth is to help you step into this new you, this fiery you, this energy of knowing your worth, loosening your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in, okay? So a lot of you guys, right, dealing with addictions, okay? Coping mechanisms, addictions, and let God in. We have empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. I love this, right? So again, that purification process. A lot of you guys are purifying yourself from addictions, okay? Lower density energies. You're seeing that this energetic situation is, as you're ascending, you are releasing low density energies, okay? So you may have taken things that are not yours. And again, that purification process is occurring. Forge, don't follow. All right, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had, okay? So you are meant to lead, meant to be seen, all right? Release fear, okay? Release the doubt, release those extra shadows that are there, pile 3, because you're meant to lead the collective. Again, you have ascendant mastery. You are an ascendant master. You're walking ascendant master. That's how I feel for a lot of you guys. There's an ascension energy where you are meant to be a teacher, a spiritual person, whatever that is, you're meant to lead the collective, okay? And when you guys dissolve these contracts, I love this because we have judgment here, spiritual awakening, karma being returned, listening to God, letting God in. All right, so these new contracts are standing in purpose, being more purposeful, good karma being returned. The Four of Pentacles, you're going to be very mindful of who you share everything with, energy, resources, everything. You're going to be very mindful of that. You're going to be very protective of yourself, very guarded of yourself, but in a very healthy way. The Six of Wands, victory, recognition, accolades, being seen. Okay, so Six of Wands, you're meant to be seen, you're meant to be successful, you're meant to be acknowledged, you're releasing fear, you're releasing doubts, you're moving to a higher level of consciousness. Pile 3. And the last one is the Empress. I love this because the Empress is all about abundance, prosperity. If you're looking for a baby or having a baby in the future or pregnant, this is to say that this is very fertile. You're fertile. You're going to have the life that you deserve. The Empress energy is the feminine energy. It's all about love, abundance, fertility, standing in your truth, standing in your purpose, being open to receiving, knowing what your worth is, and standing in divine love, complete and utter divine love from the mother. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading, pile 3, with some tea leaf cards. Ooh. Okay, you guys want to, I'm not doing all that. Maybe I have to because they said that you guys didn't hear whatever this is. All right, so, okay, so we have the Boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Okay, so this is about hard work paying off, moving forward. Career, so there's a career advancement coming in. So I feel for a lot of you guys, your hard work is going to pay off and you're going to see the gain. February, something happening in February. You could be born in February. This what could have been occurred in February of this year, or something is going to happen pertaining to your career or whatever it is in February. So February is there. Needle and thread. A sincere wish will be granted. So there is a wish that is going to be granted to you, pile 3. The Club. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. Hold strong and you will. Okay, you're putting up your boundaries. All right, again, you're going to be very clear about who you are. Teapot. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. So you're going to find maybe that this person can be of the same sex trying to get you to do something against your will. So this could just be a warning sign. But for others of you guys, you just may start finding friendships that are more resonance for you. Teardrops, great personal sorrow. So there may be a loss of some sort, some sadness. We did see the 5 of Cups here, but again, you guys are moving away and there is an energy that is being reborn. It's you, okay? We have the Heels, obstacles to overcome. We'll see that. Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. Again, I said that. You guys have that coming. Feather, someone you know is undependable and insincere. So again, be very mindful of that. Again, you guys are going to see that very clearly, okay? What did I want to say? I don't know. Forest, muddled, unclear thinking. That's going to fall away for you guys. The Dragon. Beware of self-delusion. Okay, that could be the denial, right? I love myself. I don't know what this church is talking about. And then this is all going to come up. 4-leaf clover. Great good fortune. So there is, you guys have luck on your side. The Rooster. An arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. There's something here for you guys, all right? That could be your boss, okay? Use discerning guidance. Bird flying. News is on its way, and good news, because the birds bring in good news. We have the Well. Great worry over nothing. So again, being protected. An older man. Dealings or relationship with an older man. And so for some of you guys, this news could be coming from somebody that's older, like grandpa or somebody like that. Or, what was it that I was saying? Something was here. I don't remember. Anyway. All right, you guys. That's all I have for you. So if you guys enjoyed the reading, pile 3, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for further updates if you have not done so already. I do offer private one-on-one sessions. So if you want to book a private session, all of my information is linked in the bio below. Trust the process, trust the journey. I will see you all next time. Bye now.